What's going on, everyone? What's happening? Well, a couple minutes late there. Not good, right? I just had got off with the other fellas there of UFA, United Family of Anomaly Hunters. I got some plans for the future. So I'll keep you guys notified of that. What's going on? Well, that's using there. Everybody's jumping in there tonight. Glenn Judd, what's going on, man? Happy Saturday to you as well. Got a little bit of a tickle, so I've been got one of these little halls type things. Mark Matheny, what's going on, man? Clerks 93, Libby T. Daniel Webster, what's going on, man? Andrew Haberman's in there. Douglas D, what's going on? LS6, SS, sweet. Nice 454. Knock, knock. Bush Corey, what's going on, man? All driving work, but I'll be back once I'm here. Once I'm there, rather. Sweet. John Beck, what's going on, man? Lucky Mole's in the house. Where are you, Chris? We are waiting. 420 Alien, what's happening? What's going on, Noodles? Good to see you in there. Let's see now. Cross 4123, what's going on? You say good evening, Chris, and everyone. Brilliant vids this week. Amazing finds again. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Oops, I hate when this thing jumps up like that. It's crazy how it does it. Robert Wallace, what's going on? Jim Rose. Arlene S. Hi, Chris from Sakal. I guess I'm pronouncing that correctly. Mark's in there. Mark McSween. What's happening? Pete Ferrero's in there. Oh, you're up in Buffalo. Yeah, you guys always getting hammered with some kind of snow there, right? Yeah, Andrew, I don't blame you, man. It's like everybody I work with has got some kind of, I call it the creeping crud. Everybody's got some kind of cold, flu, some kind of thing going on. It's like, oh my God, it's crazy, right? It's actually gotten warmer here. It was like 33 degrees here this morning. I was like, oh man, you're kidding. And now it's like 53. And rainy and miserable, weather like that. Stig, what's going on? He said, love your latest vids. Really good. Thanks. I appreciate that. Kenneth Lair, what's going on? Oh, by the way, Kenneth, I did see your stuff. In fact, it was about, I'm going to guess, 30 minutes ago. I looked at it real quick. Didn't have a chance to do it. And I'm glad you did it on Facebook because it's a lot easier for me to just look at it there. Because that's my two main things I put on in the morning. I go from Facebook, YouTube first and Facebook. But I did see your finds and some interesting finds there. And in fact, I'll talk to you about it once I get off here. Actually, it'll be probably tomorrow because I won't be able to stay on here that long tonight here, guys. Got a family thing going on. So I can probably be on here for about an hour, a little over an hour. And I hate that because I like hanging out with you guys. But it's kind of like, but doesn't mean we can't make it up, We can always do it in the middle of the week if we really want to. Which reminds me, we have, my son is actually in competitions with his high school, with other schools. So, and it's going to go on for the next few months, and it's on a Saturday. So everybody in favor of maybe Friday evening doing this at 5? Well, 5 my time, Eastern time. Let me know what you guys think. Because I hate to like cheese you guys out of it and just skip out on you when I can actually, just do this another day. You know what I mean? First one to understand or acknowledge my name. Very nice, brother. Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing like a good LS6. Richard, what's going on, Richard? He said, hi, Chris. Your latest Mars video is full of great stuff. Yeah, there's some crazy things, man. And I know you guys have found some other stuff. You're like, dude, did you actually go over that and you missed that? Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. Like, it's like yourselves. You'll focus on, you'll go into the pan and you'll see something, like get like stuck on it because you just see something that's just outrageously cool. You know what I mean? And you're like, wow, what is that? and then you try. It's I don't know if it's your brain that plays games with you, but you try to find something along the lines of that same object or something similar that might go to it or whatever it may be. But yeah, I know I was doing the same thing, but I try to find the largest things I can find or things that stand out like without a doubt. And it's what I try to go around. Um, so yeah. And this thing just jumped up on me again. I hate it when that happens. Oh, okay. Let me go back down here. Tommy Wiley, what's going on? Good to see you in there as well. Yes, he is in the house. I might have to leave after a couple of hours as I'm working in 10 hours time. Yeah, that's I feel you, believe me. The it's like me, I just got out of work. I mean, well, not just got out of work. I was out around 1ish. But then like I said, had to do some things and then like I said, I had a meeting with the UFA and we got together and we're going to do a lot of cool things coming up this year. And then I just jumped out and had a little bite to eat. And I mean, very little bite to eat. So I'll probably fall over in the chair because I'm hungry, but that's beside the point. And you know, and then I just jumped on here. That's why I was actually several minutes late. So, and like I said, I can't stay very long either due to the family thing. Like I said, but I'm going to try to, work with you guys. Like I said, if you want to do it Friday evening for the next couple, 2, 3 months, if that works for you guys, awesome. I'll try to jump down here a little quicker there. Yeah, Kenneth, I know you just said thank you. Yeah, I know you've been, been trying to get a hold of me, trying to get me to look at the stuff, and I'm glad you dropped all the photos there. Interesting stuff, man. I was just looking at that, and I was just like, what? Um, and I like the list that you gave me had 10 pieces here, and so definitely, I like the description you gave, so I'm going to definitely look that over. And from what I've seen, just on the pictures themselves, I really didn't click on them, but just seeing them because I'm on a large screen, but um, it's some interesting finds there. Um, Victor, what's going on? Good to see you now. I'm going to answer that question in a second there, Stig. Um, Hiya, Chris. Keep up the great videos. I appreciate you. Thank you, Victor. Douglas D, what's going on? You said something up there for sure. Oh, there's no doubt. Renee Von Oosterhood, what's going on? Hello, Chris. Hello, chat. All good. Evening to you, or whatever it is. Morning, as well as Mimi. You said, checked out a gigapan and found so many crazy things: straight lines, perfect shaped circles, inside stones, bones. Oh yeah, listen, there's so many things in there that you guys are going to probably see. Just going to, oh my god, there's no way. Even if you looked at the surroundings, you go, okay, I see rocks, but there's things in there. You just go, there's no way this stuff is natural. That's it. Um, so some people just like I said, I was saying this to the UFO group. I said, you'll find, this, let's say it was clear as day laying on the surface, and they'd go, oh, that's Earth. Because clearly that's there. So no matter how you look at it, there's always going to be naysayers. We know that, right? It wouldn't matter. They'd be like, oh, you planted that there, or it's going to be something like that. So I think it's pretty funny. Josh D, what's going on? I see you're in there. Rick Rocco, what's going on, brother? Kenny Riley. Chris, are you going to do a vid on the structures on Titan chairs? Keep up the. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually going to start fanning out a little bit. In fact, I'm going to go back to. I don't know if you guys have seen my video of Enceladus, but I want to go back to that one because a lot of people that have jumped on have not seen it, and I got a couple extra details about it now, so you'll see that it's pretty interesting. I mean, just look at the pictures of that thing, and it just makes you wonder and just kind of question it here and there. So, yeah, we'll be doing some of that too. Phil Cox with daughters Jessica and Kelsey. What's going on? Good to see you there. Let me see. Was just going to actually. Oh, Stig, you asked, do you think they will let us see a bit more when the new rover gets up on Mars, or will it still fudge most of it out? I'm going to say, yeah, the latter. They're gonna fudge most of that stuff out, and the reason for that. Remember, I said in the Gigapan, I said it seems like what they're doing is they've got like a new texture they're using. And it's almost like they're gonna, and I guarantee it's gonna carry right over into the new rover. They're not gonna, yeah. I mean, you're still gonna see things. It's like they're gonna leave still breadcrumbs and stuff like that, but I don't think they're gonna expose anything. And this is the reason. If you look at like I said, just go back several sols. I mean, even if you go back a couple months ago, and just look at the solves. I mean, the pictures are now a little bit different. And why is that? Why the hell are they so different? And it's like the texture's different, and they're trying to hide stuff better. And I think this is the reason why they're doing this, setting it up for the new Rover, even though the new Rover is supposed to have better cameras, larger photos, so on and so forth. And yeah, pretty crazy. Yeah. And like I said, it's sadly, I don't think they're going to let us see. Who knows? Maybe they'll let out a little bit more, right? It's hard to tell. I don't know. I think they're going to do their best to still kind of hide this stuff too. So, Russell, a doodle. I don't know if I'm a doodle. Do you have a favorite go-to image that proves something to you personally? I've been asked that several times. It's like either what's your favorite anomaly, whatever. I mean, there's several. I mean, I can't pinpoint just one. There's one, like I said before. I tell people it's like um, it looks like almost like a Jeep kind of thing we'd see here on Earth, and this pile coming down. It says Spirit Rover, and it's coming down this crater wall, and it looks like there's several what look like these kind of vehicles. I wouldn't call them like exactly what we got, but I've asked several people, "What do you think of this?" What do I just show them the photo. In fact, I don't know if I still got up under here. Yes, I do. This one, see if I can find it here. I've got one photo of it that I printed out on. Of course, you won't see it very good in this because it's very small. But this is coming down right there, and there's several of these highlighted. Okay, something got on this picture. I don't know what the hell happened. Some kind of liquid on it, but you can see right there in the center. You can see that, and then up close. Check this out. I zoomed it in. See if I can get it to, and you can see that. And everybody I showed, they're just like, and I said, listen, there's no right or wrong answer, so don't feel like, you're going to be right or wrong. And, they all said the same thing. They kind of like, what's the gag? I'm like, what do you mean, what's the gag? And they said, they were afraid to answer it, to be frank, because they're like, I said, no, like I said, there's no right or wrong answer because I don't know if it's true. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, to me, it looks like some kind of weird Ami Jeep. I'm like, bingo. That's what I've been thinking, the same thing. Pete's Vlogs, appreciate your support, man. I really do. You said, hi, Chris, last video was very interesting. Well, I appreciate that. And like I said, there's another one. And in fact, there might be a part 2 to that because this is interesting. When you see this, there's one thing that just totally blew my mind. And there's no way this is a rock, period. Let me see if I can't figure out what's going on with this one. Maybe I can get it to do it itself. Hold on. As soon as I put the photo up to there, it focused in on it. But the problem with it is that it stayed that way. So let me do this. See if we can't clear that up a bit. Give it a second there. It looks a little better. What do you guys think? Is that better? God, a little blurry on me there. Just didn't autofocus. I probably could have just stuffed my hand in front of the thing, got it to refocus. But regardless. But anyway, again, Pete's Vlogs, I do appreciate you. Let me see here. Now let me get that straightened out as far as the camera. Let me see. But that's the photo. I don't know what you guys think of that. That's pretty cool. When I seen that, like I said, I even asked my one of my bosses. I said, "What do you think of that? What does that look like to you?" He's like, "The way it looks, I mean, you can actually see the headlights in the front and everything." I said, "Really? Is that what you're seeing?" And then they thought, like, was I supposed to say that? I was like, "No, you're fine," because there's no way to vet any of that. But everybody I asked said it looked like some weird Jeep or some kind of weird vehicle. That's what they told me. So are we all delusional? Well, I don't know about all that. Daryl, you said Friday night's work. Okay. Like I said, because I hate to do that to you guys. I mean, I like having these hangouts and stuff like that. So if you want to do it on the Friday, we can do that. So now let me jump down here to the bottom. Drew Larson, you said Mars is alive. I think in more than one way too there, right? I think there's not only is there, I think there's plant life there. I think we've seen photos that look like there's moving objects in the air. Some people claim, oh, it's a dust particle. Okay. I'm for that. Because dust does blow around. And if it's near the camera, it's going to clearly pick it up. But a lot of these are like micron small, right? So you go, okay, well, that makes sense. But why is it just one? Is it just just windy enough for just one dust particle. And what you see is it moves in a different direction. You'll see in one photo, one's going like this. You can see it a dot, but you can see a blur on whatever direction it's flying or going. And I think it's insects, to be truthful with you, because it's just one thing in the air. And of course, we can't see how big this thing is. This thing could be way over the mountains, or it could be real close to the actual camera. We don't know, but there's not enough, detailing to see, like, let's say it was a bird for a hypothetical. There's not enough detail to see if there's any kind of wings or any of that sort. And you probably wouldn't anyway. Um, so, it's just the idea. It's like, okay, it looks like some kind of small bug and you really can't make out the details, and you probably wouldn't. Not if something, let's say a bug was just like a gnat type thing went by the camera. You'd never know it. If it took a snapshot that fast, you just see a motion blur. I don't know. Justy, you said, so on laptop now that works better than my phone. What are you talking for the live show? Or are you talking about when you like the videos? Because I always tell people, listen, if you got a way to get on like a laptop or PC or iMac, whatever it is that you use, other than something really small, you're better off to, because then you can really look around and see what's going on, right? Really check out some of these things. Perfect society, yes. On the average, you said the temperature on Mars is about minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 60 degrees Celsius in winter near the. Well, see, that's not entirely true though. If you go and you just Google it, say, in fact, we were just talking about this. The highest recorded temperature on there was 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, that was just one source. The one I saw, it was a while back, and you can't find it anymore. And I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. Was that it was 104 degrees in the shade that the Curiosity had registered. Now, because it's got its own built-in weather station, right? So, and it goes by REMS. But the idea is, it's like, okay, let's call it 90. Forget about the 104. Who gives a crap? Let's call it 90 for argument's sake. Okay. And it drops down considerably because they have a radiational cooling. The second the sun starts to drop, you can bet it cools off quickly. But it has been up to 80 degrees. You can actually look that up. It's 70 to 80 degrees. Some places will show you, just say highest recorded temperature on Mars. And I always tell people that, because sometimes like, you're full of crap, man. I don't believe that for a minute. It's like, don't trust what I'm saying. Look it up yourself. Do the research. I have nothing to hide. I'm not out there to BS anybody, right? John Beck, thank you, sir. Appreciate your support. You said Mars and Moon videos. Keep them coming. I sure will. Again, thank you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm going to do, like, if I do the Moon video, I'm going to put it in my Moon site, the Lunar Anomalies and Beyond. It's still a moon, so I'm going to try to keep all the moon stuff with the moon. So if you guys are not subscribed to that channel yet, Lunar Anomalies and Beyond, you can check it out. And I'm going to try to put anything moon. So whether it be Pluto, which is supposed to be a planet, but it's a rock, it's a whatever. But as far as like planets, regular planets, they'll go on Mars, Mars Anomalies and Beyond. So, but anything that's a moon, like Enceladus, anything like that, will, Titan, whatever it may be, we'll try to throw that on the Lunar Anomalies. Susan Ann's in the house. What's going on? Good to see you in there. Again, John, thank you very much. Dude with a laptop, there's air to breathe. There, we have all been lied to. Oh yeah, and I told somebody, and it was kind of a joke, and they kind of thought I was like, BSing them. But I said, believe it or not, any one of us on those warmer days, of course, any one of us can go there, and even if you got a slight breathing apparatus, you could walk around like I'm walking around in a short sleeve shirt, and just walk around with shorts. I mean, it's no different than being here on Earth, right? The same temperature. So if you need maybe a little bit of, because of the breathing apparatus or whatever it may be, doesn't matter. You can walk around it all day long, and chances are they're next to the magnetic field. Well, because it's sparse, you know how it is. It's like just certain parts of Mars that they have a magnetic field. So even if it was very small areas, you can bet that's where they're at, because less chance of ruining the rover or something. I'm sure it's insulated in some form. It doesn't really matter, but that's the way I look at it. So, hold on. Make sure this is all the way down here. Okay. I was going to say, why didn't that thing move? It hasn't moved yet. That's probably why. Make sure we're on live here. There we go. All right. Yeah, pretty much. Douglas D. said global warming and ice age in a 24-hour period. Well, you know it's going to have a hell of a temperature swing, right? So the other thing I was going to get at was that what happens if they had the catastrophic event, but a lot of these people took to the underground. Well, okay, so or they were already doing it. Who knows, right? So you've got people, they come out during the day where it's warm and they can hide underground underground at night. So picture this a moment. It's like yourself. If you were really cold, what do? You dig about 10, 20 feet in the ground and it's a constant 55 degrees. Doesn't matter if it's 95, 105 degrees outside or 5 degrees outside Fahrenheit. It doesn't matter. You're still in a constant. And that's the whole thing. So you could bet it's pretty much the same thing on Mars. I would think so. I hate it when it does that. Fish Tropic, you said, can you guys hit the thumbs up, please? I'm just looking at the phone here, making sure everything's all right. Yeah, nail it, man. Got 110 viewers and 49 thumbs up. Smash it. Perfect Society. You said if you'd nuke Mars, wouldn't its temperature stay the same because of its position in our solar system between minus 60, minus 125? Well, keep in mind, it's kind of like us. The way we in our solar system, how we orbit our star, our sun, um, we can change too. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we're a little further from the sun, sometimes we're a little closer, and it's no different with Mars. This is the reason why it has very very similar seasons to us. I mean, they have melting of the ice caps and all that other good stuff. So you're going to have the same seasonal thing going on. And like I said, just download the REMS. It's in fact, I can give you guys a link. This will be easier for you. Let me see here. This is just an explanation of it, which we really don't need. But on the other side of the token, if anybody's interested, they can check it out. I'll leave the link here. Here's a link for that. Because it says right here, REMS measures and provides daily and seasonal reports. Okay, let me see here. And it's got an illustration, shows you what everything is, the sensors and everything else. There should be a link on one of these things, and I'm trying to find it. It's pretty easy. I mean, I got it on my phone. You can get it. It's R period E period M period and S, which basically stands for the Rover Environmental Monitoring Station. Yeah, they usually have a link to this. Somehow I'm not seeing the link. I like that when I click on it. It says 404, page not found. And that's from NASA. Imagine that. I'm not seeing it. It's crazy. Thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate you. He said, show Chris some love by smashing that like button. Thank you for your support as always, Kenneth. I do appreciate it big time. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not finding this. This is crazy. Let me see if it shows it on it. No, see, that's another one too. It's saying 404 not found. which incidentally, they did get in trouble for that. There was I've said this more than once. Well, there's a link anyway if you guys want to check it out and see what it, um, I dropped there, right there, a little bit. They actually got in trouble because people were analyzing the pressure that they were saying was on Mars, the atmospheric pressure, or barometric rather, and well, of course, depend on how you measure it. They actually fudged the actual pressure, so it's actually higher than they've been saying. So right off the bat, again, we got water on Mars. We have the pressure is higher on Mars. It's or it's a little bit different than they're claiming, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we got blue skies. I mean, that's like this recipe or ingredients for life, right? Leslie Lesh, you put on there what you're feeling on chemtrails on Earth. Um, they are the real deal. I mean, people will claim that they're not. They'll say, well, there's contrails and there's chemtrails. Contrails you can see all day long. I mean, as far as the crow flies, I'm not very far from an airport. So it's not like next door, but um, as far as a plane, it's probably like 10 minutes away from me, from the airport. And you can see contrail all day long. I mean, they're only a certain distance behind the plane, and of course, it just dissipates because you got hot exhaust in the cool area. They turn to ice crystals, and then of course they just vaporize, and you don't see it anymore. And then there's the contrails or the chemtrails rather that they just span. As soon as they start laying this stuff out, it just keeps going and going and going, and then it spreads out and it literally milkies up the sky. And to me, that may be part of an overall plan to either heat up our atmosphere or hide something they don't want you to see or whatever the reason may be. But it's real. It's the real deal. There's no doubt about it. I'm not even familiar with that. Arlene asked, you said, Chris, are you on Brightonian yet? They now monetize. I'm not even familiar with it, to be honest with you. Somebody else had asked me something about that too. Are you on this? This, that, and the other. You can actually do tutorials and stuff like a teacher type thing on this particular stuff. And I said, I have to look into it to be truthful with you guys. I'm not even familiar with it. Rico, good evening from the UK. Rico. What's going on, Rico? Good to have you in there. Nacho. Oh my God, so first. Oh, dude, that's funny. Soren Man, you said, hi, Chris. Great upload today. This squared wall entrance to the left of the picture, I think it may be a box. As looking at the scale, it is probably only a foot in length. Unnatural for sure, though. Well, there's a lot of things. It's hard to, because I get questioned that, how big are these objects? Are they too big? Are these? The best way I look at it is like, you have to view yourself like you're the rover looking at this. The only problem with that is, did it zoom in? Is it just taking the photo from the mass cam and nothing else? Meaning the camera is upward, it's tilted up, so you don't see the actual deck of the Curiosity rover. So, which sucks because you wish you did. Because if it was, you could see the deck of it, you can get an idea, just maybe a guesstimation of just how far it may be from the rover. And there's you don't know if they zoomed in or not. So when they do that, though, it's actually pretty cool to actually see the rover in it because it gives you some kind of basic idea. But unfortunately, they don't give it to you anymore. Years ago, you could go on into something like that and have a small scale right in the lower left, or I mean, lower left or the lower right, right? So it didn't matter. You're going to go, okay, scale, okay, that's pretty good, and you can get a general idea. But I always found out that most of the time, not all, but sometimes it's just bogus. Period. I mean, it was just I'm going, no way, come on, because sometimes you can see the rover sitting there, you can see like the wheel and the part of the top of the deck, and you can look at that thing and say, "There's no way," because let's say it's off in the distance, like 40 feet. Okay, you look at it, you go, "Okay, so if I was to walk up to that thing 40 feet away, I guarantee it gets larger. You walk away from something, it gets smaller. So I'm seeing something good size in the distance, and you know darn well as soon as you walk up there, it's going to be a little bit bigger than it was from the distance away. So yeah. Let me see. Let me get that for you guys. Somebody just asked for the link for the new channel. I'm gonna go ahead and get that for you guys right now. All right. Boom. Yeah, guys, jump on over there. Here's the link to it of my lunar anomalies and beyond. Go there and you can, like I said, subscribe and then hit that notification bell. This way, here any videos that come up. Now, I do a lot more here on the Mars than I do on there, but that doesn't mean I don't put videos up. So go ahead and check that out. Yeah, absolutely. Photography, light, and magic. Yeah, you said if you color balance the Marty Cam images from Sol 2 and 3, you can see greenery. Can't be sure, but looks like moss. Ground damp too. Oh, absolutely. And you know what the funny part about it is you got to be careful. I'm not talking about those particular sols because I believe you're right. But the later ones, if you were to, you know how like you can clean it up with Photoshop, you can just put auto color, right? It'll show you more natural colors that we see here on Earth. But the funny thing about it is you'll see like blotches of purples, greens, stuff like that. That's actually manipulation that they put in place to block out these things. And that's what it pulls out. It actually pulls out these little blotches in these little areas where they've actually taken stuff out. Not all of them, but a lot of them they do. Paul Cargo, you put on there, who sees the original Gigapan images? Probably a handful of people at NASA, and that's it. You know, I'm sure they're scientists, geologists, whatever it may be. You know, I'm sure they see it, and then after that, but like I said, these are being overlaid. They're being digitally overlaid with other information to block out what's really in these photos. Like I said, I've read an article, well, not an article, something like this you'd see on CNN, but it was sent to me, and it says that these guys had found out that this information has been overlaid these photos. No doubt about it. MC Gamer, appreciate it, man. Definitely appreciate your support. Have a bear on me, Chris. Keep up the awesome work. Well, I appreciate it. Renee, yeah, you're right about that. You said I don't think it's a box. The real thing is kept so hidden. Well, I've seen this, and I know you guys have too. And I've showed it on one of the videos where I said it looks like this white piece goes behind this what looks like almost like a brown box, right? And it wasn't. I don't think it was that particular. It wasn't the last one, but you can see like a brown area. It looks like they put in there. But there's something on the right hand side, upper right. It goes like this, and it goes right behind that brown area, and yet you can still see the outline and just a little bit of the white behind it. Makes you wonder. Okay, so is it some kind of brown, almost transparent item that's sitting right there, or is it an actual manipulation? Now we know NASA would never manipulate any of their photos, so it can't be that. Um, yeah. Uh, so yeah, I mean, to me, it's just it's a manipulation. It's as simple as that, right? Oops, thing just jumped again. Dirk Whirlinger, you said there must be more pressure, so the parachutes make even sense. Well, yeah, you're right about that. A lot of people question that. So, how is it possible to when they had the Spirit rover and the Opportunity rover, they were actually parachuted down, whereas the Curiosity was dropped by a crane jet. It had engines, jet engines, and then of course it just had the Curiosity rover, and then it just dropped it right on the surface. It just lowered it down and then dropped it to the surface. So where the Spirit rover and the Curiosity, I'm sorry, not the Curiosity, but the Opportunity and Spirit, those are dropped by a parachute. They just let them go, but they had like these airbag balloons all the way around them. So they just came down, bounce, 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 bounce. They came to rest, and then of course they just opened up. They just righted themselves and opened up, and then the rover came out. Either one of those did. And so yeah, but then their argument is, yeah, but it's a lot bigger parachute. They're huge in order to be able to do that. I find it hard to believe. There's more pressure on that plane. And like I said, these people had, excuse the pun, put pressure on them and said, how could that possibly be? This doesn't fit the model. Oh, wait a minute. So they had to rework it and actually come out with something a little more acceptable. Yeah. So they're calling them, I love how they're calling, there's different people, scientists and stuff like that, are calling them out on their BS. And like I said, when you stop putting all this stuff together, you go, man, there's got to be life, even if it's just plant life. It doesn't have to be anything else. And like I said, I guarantee they're going to come out with that. They'll definitely see the other rover. It's not coming out. They're launching it, I believe, in November this year. 2020, 2021 is when it'll be on Mars. And I'm not sure if it's supposed to be on April or March of next year. The wheels will be on the ground. So can't wait for that. Timothy Pendleton, yeah, you said yes, and you can see through the overlay sometimes. Absolutely, you can see literally objects between it. So wait a minute. I don't know about you guys, but when I take a photo of something, I don't care what it is, I take a photo. I don't see through the photo. I don't see through people. I don't see through objects. I don't see something on or behind that object. I see solid photo because everything's solid, right? Yeah. Pete Ferrero, you said 40K old moss found in Alaska in permafrost started to grow in proper conditions. Absolutely. Well, what do they do as far as when they take ice and they'll take microbial, they're looking for microbial life. And they can literally, it's been there for like thousands of years. They literally set it down on a table, it gets warmed up, and it starts to come to life. What? So I think life will find a way no matter what. I don't want to hear it about, there's no life on Mars, period. No, 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 no. Trust me, there's some kind of life on that planet. In fact, I think we know there's not only intelligent life on Mars, but there was also insects. Some people have seen creatures. Now, I don't see them all like, some, and I've said this. I've said, there's people that see what look like little people and stuff. I just don't. Maybe I'm just not programmed to see them. I don't know. I see more mechanical and structural than anything. And I know you guys agree, and some of you don't, where you say, well, no, I actually see the people. And I've seen something was similar to it, and I do see it every now and then, what looks like shapes of people or some kind of weird little creatures. But, I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm just hardwired to see mechanical and structural. I don't know. Daniel, what's going on, man? You said some of these black objects that they can't identify, they say they're green. In the spring, a lot of the idiots try to say that sand dunes and everything, they are green. They have branches and leaves. Well, what I find interesting, and I know you guys have done this yourself, look at these gray dunes. They're like in the middle of nowhere. They're on the side of this mountain, and it's just different color sand, period. So, you know what I mean? It's like kind of on a beach. If you're on the beach and the wind's blowing and it takes sand and it puts it up in a corner of somewhere, makes sense. That colored sands is all over the beach. Well, why do you get like these gray, dunes or sand pushed up against a dune or whatever it may be, and yet absolutely no other sand in the area is that color? It had to blow in from somewhere at some point. Okay, just want to make sure this thing's back to where it's supposed to be. Okay. Tomasi Nasanders, hi to everyone. What's going on? Good to have you in there. That's not a bad idea, though, Josh D. You said, Chris, have you ever plotted out your finds on a map in Mars to get an idea where the center of their civilization was in cities and such? No, it's not a bad idea, though. To be truthful with you, the way I've been seeing this now, it's traversed. You can see, you can just go into Google and say, where is Curiosity rover now? And it'll show you exactly where it's traversed. And every one of these sols, when you look at it, as you're looking at the sols, you're going, holy Christ, you can literally see where, every place this thing's been, it's rolled through some kind of, either ruins or something. I think when they landed there, they had every intention of looking at or looking through and driving through these ruins. And that's what they're really there primarily for. They're not there for the rocks. I mean, you'll see them drilling and using a rat, tool, which is a rock abrasion tool. You'll see them showing pictures of, how they grinded this and did that and drilled that. I'm not saying that's not real. It's absolutely real. What I'm saying is that when you think about what they're really there for, because we're seeing this stuff in the photo, right? But they've already drilled this. They've already sampled this stuff back in the day with the Viking mission back in 1975 and 76. And of course, there was arguments with the scientists saying, "Oh no, there was no life ever seen there, or microbial life, ancient microbial life, whatever it may be." So they were going back and forth, but they absolutely believe, yes, there was life found back then in 1975 and 76. So, what are they there for now? And that's their big argument. Doc Chuck, Little Chuck, what's going on, man? Popping in for a few minutes. How are you? And how is everyone? I'm doing fine, man. I hope you're doing as well, Doc. May not be a bad idea, Robert Morgan. You said untouched photos. Why not start at the White House petition and to have them released? It'll be cheaper and faster than FOIA. Yeah. Well, the only problem I have with is that the article I read, and it's kind of no surprise to you guys. You guys be like, yeah, we already know that. Where it actually said they found out when they were looking through the algorithms and the software when they did this memory dump, they looked at um, this information. They said, wait a minute, what does the DoD check this out? The DoD and NASA are affiliated. Well, kind of goes into the no crap category, but why would they have any say in these photos at all? Has no, but again, like I said before, every place has to have a boss or something or higher up. And I think that's the case. And that's who's controlling this. Because we've always said that, right? The military's controlling it. So, well, there you go. And it basically confirmed what I've been saying all along, too. Perfect society. Are you KGB? Are you somebody else in the room? Um, KGB? No, not last time I checked. Oh yeah, Noodles, you're right about that. The Martian H2O brine is obvious, and if and you guys are not familiar with brine, it's basically highly salt content water that they clean, and a lot of it's dried up, and all you see is the what's left of the actual salt is just just when the water dried up, the salt just sat there, and of course it was. What I find interesting is that it's in these little veins kind of thing, as opposed to just kind of laid out and flat on the surface. I find that a little weird, but basically that's what brine is, right? Craig McCauley, hey, good to see you, man. When did you creep in there? I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the support. You said you think NASA sees obvious ruins but hide them. Yeah, actually, I do. There, like I said to me, and this is just, and I've speculated before, and like I said, that article. I think I got it on the other computer, but I'm gonna give you guys that article I've been reading, and I finished reading it. And when you see this, and anybody who's been following me all along, it basically confirms what I've been saying all along. One, the rover can actually, send information straight to Earth as opposed to, not just through the orbiters. So in other words, there's like a secret. There's like three computers it was going to. So this particular signal is being sent directly to the Deep Space Network or the DSN, which is these large dish radio telescopes. And the information come in and it'll go to three computers, just three specific computers. What it's supposed to do is if the information is supposed to come in and it's supposed to go into this large server and it goes onto a hard drive. Okay. Well, what they were finding was it would go to these three computers, it would go on the server, and then all of a sudden it would disappear. But yet these people with the three computers would get it. So, like I said, what this guy did was, and he worked for NASA. What he did was he took this information. Well, he decided, I'm going to make up a little a program that would have the information coming in, and here's the receiving dish. It would come into the dish, and it would go towards the server. But what he would do is just like I said, I used the analogy. It's like you sitting on the side of a freeway, seeing the cars go by, but you're taking in the information as these things are passing, but you don't want to be seen. So he made this program which should literally, read the information without being detected. And what he did was he found this information out and said, well, what the hell's going on here? There's an extra transmitter on that rover. And I've said this a long time ago. I thought that was weird because I kind of like said, no crap. There is dual receivers or transmitters rather. And it's on the X band, which is that high gain antenna. It's a flat antenna. It looks like the shape of a stop sign and it transmits directly. But, and I said this a while back, I said, well, according to NASA, it just uses it to ping. So in other words, if somehow the sun is here and the Earth is here, and of course Mars is on the other side, well, the rover will stop. It'll literally stop until it gets next commands, but it'll ping to Earth saying we're okay, we're fully functional, waiting on the next command. Problem with it is since when does a radio wave go through the sun? So I said no, and I speculated a long time ago, but this confirms it that they actually get their own pitches. They probably get them. They look them over in private, check them out, and then, of course, then they'll, go over them, manipulate them, do whatever they want to do to them, and then they send them out to the public. And then, of course, they get rid of them off the hard drives. Well, come to find out, when they were checking all of this out and finding out the who, why, and what, what they found was one day they go in and they found out there's like a room or like X amount of computers have been totally cleaned off. They've been wiped They're like, "What the hell's going on?" Then he went, "Oh my god, my program. Did they find out about us and this is what happened?" No, that's not what happened. They just did it as a normal wiping. I don't know why they would do that, but those 3 computers as well as like 3 or 4 others were completely wiped. And I'm like, "Huh, interesting." So really, really cool. I think when next time we do the hangout there, I'm going to go ahead and drop that to you guys because that's on the other computer. In fact, it's on not this one here, but the other one. So yeah, I agree with you, Eric Blair. You said Trump needs to drain the NASA swamp. The problem with it is, I think they don't even have to answer to him because being the DOD, think about it. I'm sure they're higher up because to me, the president's nothing more than a puppet anyway. It's just a PR kind of thing, and that's what it's all about. And they probably said, "Listen, you're on a need to know basis." Well, wait a minute, I'm the commander in chief. I don't mean shit. You know, we're talking about the elites of the planet, kind of thing going on, and they're just going, "Well, you don't need to know." It's as simple as that. Rob Eberhard, you said, or Eberhard. Um, Hi, Chris from Buffalo. What's going on, Rob? Good to see you in there. Jerry, you asked Chris, I'm sorry, has NASA ever contacted you and asked you to stop? Nope. Not at all. Like I said, like I said, I think we're just being used as pawns. Anybody who does this particular work and lets these little things out, that's what they want. Now, whether you agree with what we find or what you don't, it doesn't matter. That's what they're hoping. You'll go back and forth, going back and forth. Now, the people who want to find it, they'll do their own research and say, okay, this is what I believe. I believe there's a civilization. I believe what I'm seeing is artificial, meaning not natural. And those are the people who they're saying, well, we're going to be ready for this. You know what I mean? So if we let the cat out of the bag or we finally start taking this slow drip, basically journey where they let a little bit more, a little bit more. Like I said, there's going to be it's going to be you're going to see like small plant growth or something or moss or something like that. You watch. They're going to say, oh yeah, we found a small plant life that's indigenous to Mars or whatever, and that's going to come out. We already get the water, and things can grow in salt water too. But you watch and see that's coming up. It's just a question of time, and they're going to work up to it. And oh yeah, we found some fossilized, microbial life, and oh wait a minute, we just came around, we just found these. They look like I don't know. They're going to say like some kind of weird, plant life that lives in hardly any water, kind of like a cactus, right? Only a lot smaller, whatever. You watch. It's like slow steps they're taking, but they're getting there. Wish they'd speed it up though. Be nice to see that. Yeah, pretty much, right? Noodles, cat is out of the bag chasing Tic Tacs. Well, the thing is, now they're saying that the military knew about it because they're theirs. Those Tic Tac UFOs and stuff. Yeah, pretty bizarre. But yeah, Leslie Leslie Lash, NASA should hire you to alter the pictures. I actually said that one time. I said, um, they should have me as like a proofreader. And it's like you see it coming down the line. Hey guys, you screwed up. You missed this part here. Oh, okay, go ahead. And so, but that'd be tough to do because I'd be like, man, okay, I'll do the job if you show me the real deal before anything's screwed with. Well, you think they'd do that? Probably not. Yeah, exactly. Leslie, you said faces everywhere, not pareidolia. Well, and I tell everybody to be careful because if try not to zoom in too much because a lot of people will go like buck wild on some of this stuff. They'll go like so far in that you can literally see just it looks like a spaghetti. That's what it looks like to me. That's the best way I can describe it. So you got to be really careful about how much you zoom. You don't want to zoom in too much. Um, okay. Somebody just Ricardo just messaged me. But anyway, so you want to um, hold on. Every time I stop this thing, gotta make sure it's live again. Um, I get sidetracked. Anyway, but like you said, Noodles, you said cat is out of the bag chasing. But the military, listen, they built this stuff themselves. Now, is it reverse engineered? Which they claim it was back in 41 or 47 with the Roswell. And that's a very good possibility. Or it's just, some people say, no, it's our technology itself. And, uh, you know, it's our technology or, because we're not stupid, right? We got good technology. So it's that or it's back engineered or both. That's what I think. And there's another interesting I was reading too. You guys can look up anti gravity. What's funny about it? They've been messing around with that since the 20s. I watched a video and they were talking about that anti gravitics. And what was funny about it is they said um, it was back in 1920s. They kind of, I don't know if I want to use the term discovered it, but by 1930s they were already messing with it. 1930s. So it's almost like, okay, they didn't just go, oh yeah, yeah, well, we just discovered any, gravity and stuff like that. But let's just just throw it in the file cabinet. Don't worry about it. You know damn well they took it and ran with it. So you can almost bet your butt that they got all of that anti-gravitics. They probably can fly from one planet to another, not even trying, not even breaking a sweat. Philip, you put on there, your government must and NASA must hate you. Well, like I said, it depends. If they're using you, then it makes sense, right? They're just like, hey, just let them have at it. Whether the people agree with them or not doesn't matter to us. We're just trying to get the information out and we just slowly let out because if they can, you guys seen the last pan? Oh my God, talk about the manipulation is just it's hellacious. I mean, so as well as I do, they could have easily taken all of that out. Why are they leaving out? Why are they leaving some things out? And like I said, when I do the second part to this thing, wait till you see one of the things I found in there. Oh my God! In fact, I enhanced it so I get the photo of it, and yeah, and so I'm going to call this one. This will be the first part, and the other will be second part. But I gotta really try to find this thing. I literally got off the pan, got back on it, and I can't find the thing now. So I'm like, what the hell? So I'm going to do my best to find it because I do actually have. I did a screenshot of it, enhanced it, and yeah, there's no way this is a rock. Nathan Bond, you said, you do believe the story of Billy Meyer? Is that the one that you claimed he was on Mars? I think that was the one he's either born and raised on Mars or was on Mars somehow. I forget how it was. Is that the same one? Yeah, absolutely. MC Game. He said, if I worked for NASA and had proof of their BS and lies, I still wouldn't say to the public, not worth the crap. What comes with look what happened to Bob Lazar. Absolutely, but you know what though? He still spoke his mind. And you can always tell somebody the guy's the real deal. Bob Lazar's the real deal. Now, some people, I'm not sure I believe in him. Absolutely. The guy's a scientist. I mean, he can, like I said, he built his own hydrogen car. It was an older Corvette, an 80s Corvette. And he had his own solar, cells to actually run his basically his fuel for the car, right? So yeah, I mean the guy's I wouldn't say I don't know about a genius, but the guy definitely knows his crap. And the way he talks about what he's seen in Area 51 and other top secret areas, yeah, I think he's the real deal. There's no doubt about it. Dale Rogers, hello from Cleveland. What's going on? Good to see you in there. Okay, that's better. Thing just jumped up on me. I think I've seen that Eric Blair. You said, Roswell interview with an alien. Check it out. Is that the one he was talking about? I think he was asking him questions and he was basically describing us Earthlings and stuff like that, and saying, "Well, what to watch out for, and all this other stuff." Diane Moore, you said you feel like crap. Just want to lay here and listen. Well, I hope you feel better there, Diane. Spaceman Ost, you said I have seen two man-made anti-gravity vehicles flying as I walked behind them back in 1973. Huh? Where was that at? Just curious. Richard Mortimer, what's going on? Good to see you in there. There are some who believe crash craft parts was distributed out to companies with a hard clad NDAs in place. I had them research and develop new tech to have them. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised there. I mean, think about it. If you could put them to these top secret companies, like not too many people know about, and they just say, listen, pull this thing apart, find out what makes it tick, and, and see if we can't simulate it. Or it is still functional. How can we put it in our own craft? So on and so forth, right? Let's see how it worked and was intricately installed or put into this spacecraft. Let's see if we can do the same. Can we do it? You know what I mean? This is will is a way. You'll do it. Trust me. What's going on there, Mike Knapp? It's good to see you in there. Vincent Millie said, "What about the things on Venus?" Yeah, there are some bizarre looking things. I've seen a couple of people have showed me some pictures of things they found, and I looked at Venus a while back, and some kind of weird things. But the problem with Venus is they don't have a ton of photos of Venus. That's what sucks. And I kind of wish they did, but they got a handful, but there's got some interesting things on it. Just going, is it real? Is it not? But to me, if anything, I don't care what planet or what moon it's on. If you got, if you have something that looks out of place compared to its surroundings, that's called anomaly. It's an anomaly and it's anomalous. That doesn't mean it's not natural. It just stands out from the surroundings. But when you have something that looks intricately made, whether it's very small or the size of your car, it doesn't matter, or something much larger. If it stands out, okay, now you go, okay, let's see what the criteria. Criteria is okay. First of all, it stands out. Okay, that doesn't mean it's intelligently made. Then you just, go down the list. Okay, is it showing anything like more than a few 90-degree angles? And I mean like a box. Is it showing things that, those as well as other, you know, things that stand out from nature? And that's what you have to build on. That's why I tell everybody, grab these photos yourself. That's the reason why I give you the links. Look at it for yourself. And that's what it's all about. And I've always told people, and I'll say it a million times, I'm not here to, pressure people. This is what you need to believe. No, I want you to do your own work and then say, yeah or no, whichever way. You'll get your own heads, get your own brains. I mean, you guys are not stupid. I mean, that's it. CCM, why Harley D? Hey, Chris, maybe Mars was overpopulated. They needed to get rid of some of the population, like here on Earth, because part of them decided to fight back. A big war broke out and they destroyed the planet. Anything's possible. You know, um, it's hard to say. I mean, you kind of wish you can go really, if there was like writings like we have in these ancient civilizations we have, right? And they'll talk about how there were wars and, who won out or whatever, or whatever it may be. And you kind of wish you can find that kind of thing on Mars. Oh, maybe they have. And it basically describes what happened. Maybe the last people who were there that, wrote what happened, and that's how their civilization died. Who knows? It's hard to tell. But you kind of wish you could find out, because you just see so much devastation. You go, did they do it to themselves? And like I said, I say this periodically. There's a guy, and I can't remember his name. Maybe you guys will know. But the guy stated, when a civilization becomes so large that it can no longer sustain itself, it implodes. And whether it be through war or just natural, meaning you just run out of resources, it basically implodes. So, and if it does that, is it something that happened like that on Mars? I don't know. What happened? Somebody was just saying about Billy Meyer again, and a thing just jumped on me here. You're right about that, Nathan Bond. You said Bob Lazar is and has been telling the truth for years and never changed his story. Exactly. That's why I believe he's 100% the real deal. Timothy Pendleton said, "Chris, do you think someone could be monitoring what you look at on a NASA site? Maybe that's why that pic is no longer there." Well, what I noticed though, I don't know if you don't have the NASA site. Here's the thing: when you used to go on Midnight Planets, now they no longer support the site, and I think they stopped at 25, somewhere around 2,500 sols, meaning it was over that. But I mean, they stopped it. It just stopped the site. The problem with it is now when you go on there, if I say, here's the site to it, just jump on there and just put in sol whatever, because it'll say date from start to finish. You put in the sol, and it'll bring up all the pictures for that particular sol. So in other words, they made it harder for you. Instead of just going, click on this link, boom, there's the picture. You no longer can do that. Now you got to do a little bit more steps, and they figured, well, maybe people will get discouraged and won't want to do anything with it, so the hell with it, and they'll just stop. They'll give up on it. So what I like about Neville's GigaPans is that he actually has the link already to that page with all those photos for that particular sol. So you just click on it because I said he's got his links for. I think he's got several links for his actual GigaPans, but then on the bottom he'll have the NASA. So when you click on it, boom, it comes up and it shows you all the pictures for that particular sol. You don't have to go type it in and stuff like that. So yeah, Arlene S. You said have to go. Thanks all. Well, thanks for being here, Arlene. Pleasure to have you here. So yeah, it makes it a little bit easier. That's why I started using a lot of his pans. I've always had, but now I'm using his new site. And like I said, you can just pull out that tab, and you've got that window that comes out, and you can just tap on that link on the bottom, and automatically take you there. You jump down to the bottom here. Rolando Owls, good to see you there. He said hi, Chris. Hope you've been well. Mimi reacts. Good. That's a good comment. So it'd be crazy if aliens could, or they found a way to disguise their planet. I'm finding a lot about on our moon. When you look at it, it almost looks like if you could picture your own house that you live in, right? Now, if you could take the land and just plop it on top. So in other words, your house is still there. But so from overhead, it would look like camouflage. It would just look like a raised hill, but you wouldn't actually see your house. Unless, of course, you came down at an angle. And some of them places and some of these areas where they show moon photos, whether it be from the Apollo or the LROC, when you look at that, you can see angles, and it looks like there's structures in there underneath this. So it wouldn't surprise me. And as far as Mars goes, I think because, like I said, they probably built into these buttes, mountains, whatever it may be, it's perfect. The ground is an insulator. The sand or dirt is an insulator towards radiation. If they get radiation, like I said, if you're in a butte or a mountain, even if you had a nasty windstorm, what's it going to do to you? It's not going to move the whole damn mountain, so you're safe there too. So to me, it just makes sense. I mean, hell, ancient people in our time did that. They built right into mountains. They literally they carve into a side of a mountain, and it would look like an actual structure, but it's into a mountain. So why is it hard to believe? Why couldn't they do the same? Makes sense to me. Vlad's channel, he said, hi, Chris. What software, I guess you were saying, are you using for screen recording? I use OBS. It's called OBS, and it's free. So if you want to check it out, you can do that. Exactly, Richard. Yeah, you said that's because the corrosive atmosphere on Venus, of Venus rather, caused rapid damage to probes. However, some have said that the upper atmosphere is perfectly habitable using floating cities. And what they said was, in addition to that, they actually said that it's a lot like Earth's atmosphere, X amount of feet or miles up from the actual surface. They actually said that it's a lot like Earth's atmosphere. It's like, imagine that. Yeah, and you said if they do belong to us, then this country should rule the world because they left our best and fastest jets in the dust. Played with them, and I don't know if they're telling the truth. Well, that's true. Oh, thank you, Jerry. I appreciate your support. I like the little guy there working out. Keep it up. Oh yeah, no doubt about that. Again, Jerry, thank you for the support. That's pretty funny, little cartoon guy. Stefan, you said, so what is your actually best smoking gun when it comes to Mars structures? Well, again, there isn't really no specific one for me. Like I said, there's just so many things in there. It could be anything from the smallest detail into something very large. Like I said earlier, when I was talking about this photo here, looked like this weird object sitting right there. And everybody I showed Said it looked like some kind of weird Jeep. It looks like an army Jeep or some kind of weird thing like we see here on Earth. And everybody I've asked said it looks like some kind of weird vehicle. Now, and I never said a word. I just said, listen, there's no right or wrong answer. What do you think it is? And they just, I hate to say, well, again, you can't be wrong and you can't be right. I mean, there's no way of knowing that. I don't know if that's what it is. I mean, seriously. All right, Timothy, I get you. He said, crap battery is dying and got to go. Thanks, Chris. See you soon. Well, I appreciate you stopping in there, Timothy. Like I said, it's going to be a short night for me too, because like I said, family thing going on, and my son's at the school. He's got competition going on. So I'm not going to stay much longer either. And, like I said, even if if we have to, I can do something extra too. But I'll forewarn you guys. In other words, I'll let you know. Like if I decide to do, let's say I was going to pull one out and just say, oh, well, let's do it Wednesday for the heck of it. Do it early and then get it. So, we can always change it around. But if you guys want to, the next, like I said, we could do the next Hangouts like on a Friday evening, like the same time if you want to. We can do that. No, I hate when it does that. Here we go again. Good morning, Chris. Greetings from South Africa. Marcus Peters says, well, good morning to you there, Marcus. Good to see you in there. I will, Timothy. You said, and Chris, if you get a second, get back to me about the moon videos and pics. I said, I will, absolutely. Yeah, Noodles. You said, well, your question was Friday live chat time, Chris. Well, I'm thinking about that in the next, because he's got these competitions for the next few months. So instead of not doing them all or moving it to Sunday, because I know a lot of you guys are like, I know, but Sunday nights or evenings, because a lot of you guys live over the big pond. So it's like wee hours of the morning. It's like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, man, I got to go to bed. I got to get to work. So that's why I moved it to Saturday, but maybe temporarily for like a good couple months. Maybe I'll do it Friday evenings, and then we'll just move it back to Saturday. I don't know if it'll work for everyone. So that's why I'm just throwing it out to you guys. See what you guys think. Stefan, you said wishing everyone a great weekend. Well, I hope yours is great as well, man. $420 Alien, you said you should do a live right after you post a new video. Well, see, I'm thinking about that too. I may actually just I'm working on it there, looking into just using the OBS, do a live feed, and then I can just feature photos in it and stuff like that. I mean, it's not like I can't go live with it, so I can do that. Now, some of you guys have suggested that, and I said, well, maybe I'll do that. I just have to do a couple of test ones there and run it. So I'm sure it's not a big deal, and just might be doing that pretty soon. Find it, restore it. What's going on? He said, Friday's good for me. Josh D says, Friday good too. Just let us know. Vincent Miller, former Special Forces radio operator with Story for Your Ears Only. Let me know, and thanks again for your hard work with the truth. Well, Vincent, anytime you just jump on. Let me see this. You can go to my Mars Anomalies Facebook page. You can just drop me a message there if you like. I'm the only one that sees it. It's not like anybody else is going to see it. So if you want to do that, if not, Mars Anomalies at AOL.com, you can do that too. Yeah, that'd be fine. Greg McCauley, thank you very much again for your support. Where's the merchandise? LOL. Yeah, see, I haven't really gotten into that yet. I mean, I've got it set up, believe it or not. I got it set up for like t-shirts, but I haven't gotten into it after that. So I just definitely need to get back into that. It's so hard for me, guys. I'll be honest with you guys, man. Like I said, just picture getting up at 5 o'clock, doing nothing but physical work until at least 1, and then sometimes later. And then you come home. I might take an hour or two nap. Boom, get up. I'm right on the computer. So, um, so yeah, it's tough, man. And then I'm on that for hours on end. Then I'll make some videos. That takes time. And I started trying to just go live. Period. In other words, well, not live, but just do the video straight through instead of using editing. And the reason for that is the editor that I use is just a simple one that's on Windows. It's like Windows Movie Maker, whatever it is. It's good if you're only doing 1080p. Works perfectly. Second, you try to go over that. Like if you look at my last videos, they're 1080p 60, meaning 60 frames per minute instead of like a 30 or less. So 1080p is good, but I'm trying to do better. So that's why I'm doing them more by the seat of my pants. Meaning just go through them and don't do any editing at all. And I know some of you guys are like, "Oh man, you were kind of like all over the place on there," but I'm not editing, so I'm not stopping here and then jumping over to another area. I'm just actually just doing it on the fly. Um, so I hope you guys don't mind that. And then what I'm trying to do is this way I can give you guys better quality as opposed to something a little crappier. So this computer is capable of doing that as opposed to the other one I had. It was only 1080p was the limit. So yeah, I'm trying to give you guys better quality as opposed to, a little bit less quality. So yeah. Supreme Ruler, what's going on? I didn't see you jumping there. So Friday is my one day off. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, I guess it's a good thing if you don't mind. Because I know a lot of people on my day off, my one day off, because I work 6 days a week. One day off, Sunday. That's it. And even then, you know what happens there, right? I'm still bouncing. I'm still doing all kinds of stuff. Renee Vaughn, Renee, you said Chris doesn't matter. We look anyway. All right, sounds like a plan. Kenneth, he said, whatever works best for you, family has to come first. Well, I mean, it's not so much that. I mean, to me, you guys like my online family type thing, so I enjoy getting in there with you guys. And to me, this is like a ritual. I like coming in here and talking with you guys, and we're throwing different comments around and different things I haven't seen, I'm not aware of. You guys bring it basically to the table, and I do the same for you guys. So, and then we talk about what we've already seen in these gigapans, photos, whatever it may be, right? So, yeah. Phil Cox, you said crystal buzzing for you. He must be. Oh, you must be a smoker, and you're putting out some great videos on my friend. Well, there you go. Richard, you said today is Sunday rather, AM in Japan. Convenient time for a live chat. Well, yeah, if it's AM like that. Now, would that bother you if we went to Friday? Because that would be your Saturday AM, right? Oh, this thing jumped on me again. Barry Taylor, hi Chris, appreciate the shout out. Well, thanks for being there, Barry. Pete's Vlogs, my day off is Sunday. Might be a little bit of a problem then, right? Like I said, I'm just trying to make it convenient so everybody can see it, right? So kind of like, Spaceman Ost, you said catch you later in the next live stream. Keep well, be safe. You do the same, man. Believe it or not, people ask me that. They must think I do something like I work for a space program or something like that. Down to earth stuff, man. Just basically stock crew. I order everything for this big, grocery store, this big chain, and I order for that particular store, and then we obviously unload it and put it on the shelves and everything else. It's pretty minuscule, nothing really serious, but it is physically demanding, and but it takes up a lot of your time. And then when you're done with that, you come out of work, you're like, man, I need to crash for a couple hours. And then boom, I'm up making videos. I mean, so I'm behind the computer for like another 4, 5, 6 hours, So yeah, my time's pretty much tied up. So anything on Sunday is like, again, tied up. It's like there's no way around it. So basically, 7 days a week I'm working in one form or another, right? Oh well, let me see this. Martin Hyde, you said I was looking at Ganymede, and wow, I saw a tower, and you could see a shadow coming off of it. Some crazy stuff. Yeah, Ganymede. Like I said, that moon is just crazy to me. And like I said, I'm going to probably do a new video on that because yeah, I mean, when you look at the scientific, when you read about the scientific part about the moon, it makes sense, but it doesn't. And like I said, if I do that soon, you'll understand what I'm saying because I did one a while back, and it actually got a lot of hits on it. And it wasn't about the hit so much; it was about people were interested in that particular moon, and some agreed what I had to say, and some didn't. But a lot of I don't know if I'd call it viral, but it went pretty big, and it's just some of the things I brought out. I see inconsistencies, not so much what you can see on there, but what the way they show it. And the pictures are the actual really great pictures. You see some of the pictures, man, they're like dynamite. Really clear, but I have questions about it. And when you watch the video, like I said, I'll do a new one because there's some more information that's coming out. Then you'll see what I'm talking about. It's pretty cool. Richard, you said you many Saturdays you work, but is it in the morning or evening? MC Gaming said, Chris, McKinnon is the man. Yeah. Um, he is pretty cool. And I'm wondering how much he really knows, right? Richard. Well, Chris, once the robots replace you, and they will, you'll have more free time. Well, I don't know. I mean, I look at it this way. Hopefully, that'll be after I retire, so I won't have to worry about it, right? Okay. I see what you're saying, Richard. So basically, what? 7 to 4? 7 to 4 p.m.? That's not too bad. Unless, of course, it takes you 8 hours to get home, then that's a problem. But Rachel, where you been? Haven't seen you in a while. Glad to see you on board there. Everybody was asking about you. They're going, "Where's Rachel? What's up with Rachel? Where'd she go?" Well, at least we know you're doing good. Hopefully. Well, thank you, Susan. You said thank you, Chris, for your hard work and time. Well, like I said, I mean, it's kind of like a passion of mine. I like doing it anyway, but it's awesome that I said I'm going to start doing videos on this stuff because I think people need to see this, and so it's cool to share it, especially when you find something really neat because you're like, oh my god, these guys are going to like really love this when they see this, right? So yeah. Oh, Richard, yeah. Don't hold your breath. Amazon is ready, already ramping up 1 hour to get home. Usually, well, that sucks. Yeah, I'd love to be able to do that. 420 Alien said, hopefully soon you'll be able to do your own channels full time. Man, I tell you what, it would be like a blessing because, um, because it's hard to juggle all of this around. Because I'd be able to knock out these things. I'd be like at least instead of like 7 days a week, instead of getting like two, maybe three videos, you can do like 5, 6 a week easily. Um, and because it is a lot of work, it's not just I'm not just grabbing a picture and say, oh, look at this picture. And, a lot of times you can do that if the anomaly is pretty visible. If not, then it's kind of like you got to try to enhance it to get it to pop out a little more, right? Susan, easy with the live stream time. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to do that. I mean, if like I said, because it's going to be like the next X amount of months, maybe 2 or 3 months, it's going to be Saturday's going to be tough for me, and I hate to do that to you guys. that's why I'm kind of trying to get a consensus about if you guys think it'd be all right for like a Friday evening, or do you guys have a better time? Like I said, Sunday is my only day off, so I kind of like to keep that day. And some of you guys, well, and I work on the Friday, so like I said, I'm trying to get a good consensus so it can work with everybody. Tony Rushi, you said, or Rusi, uh, a plasma magnetic drive on the SpaceX Starship changes everything. Well, if you notice too, he's doing a lot of work there. He's really talking about how he really wants to do this our getting to Mars and making our own civilization there and everything else. He's really there. He says, oh, okay. Saying SpaceX, NASA no go for major crew Dragon launch escape test Saturday. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It says high school student discovers alien planet with two suns just days into a NASA internship. So that's pretty cool. I'm just reading some of the space news. I had to actually put my monitor up there up on the second shelf as opposed to I got the other two monitors right here. Crazy, but 420. You said I'm good with Friday evening. Sweet. It was actually interesting, Brendan. Yeah, I was just gonna just get back to your prior comment. Yeah, well, you called it was like a fish tail as well, didn't you? Like it could be either or. Interesting. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is sometimes these things just pop out of nowhere, right? Like these anomalous looking things. Even if okay, you say okay, there's rock, there's sand. Okay, I'm cool with that. But then you see something that totally stands out. That's anomalous. That's why we do anomalies. And some of these things you just go, okay, clearly that can't be a rock. And if it is, it's funky. I mean, because yeah, some things have just too many details in them to be just a rock. Is it possible it's part of a structure and had some kind of weird details? Not yours, of course, but yeah, I found that interesting. What was it, like three fingers? It looked like either three fingers on it because it was on the edge of the picture. Exactly. Yeah, he called it the guppy tail, and that's what I'm saying. It had like the three not phalanges, but basically it's like right on the edge of the picture. So well, that's actually the way I think you zoomed it in, and it had the inset picture. I think. Yep, Rachel. Yep, a binary star system. Absolutely, that's pretty cool. That this kid would go on these an internship and boom, find something like wow, that's crazy. Pete's vlog. You said I can do Fridays, Chris. I'll manage. Yeah, I was thinking of the same thing, Noodles. He said, Chris, maybe notify your subs in a weekly vid and the notes below. Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't just not say anything. I would let you guys know. Hit that thumbs up, guys. Bam. Still got like 115 people on board. There's like 108. I think it says almost 108. Hammer time. Hit that thumbs up. Jack Bruce. He said, late, but hello from Holland. Well, hello. Be right back at you. Well, like I said, guys, well, I see photography, light, and magic. You said Friday's good for me too. Um, if it's 5 on Friday, I'm okay. Okay. Because like I said, it'll be just temporary. Like I said, it's like 2 or 3 months. It's not going to be like forever, right? Um, so which I'm trying to be fair with everybody because I know you guys like to go in here and do the same thing and talk with everybody. And like I said, it's like we have a family here. So I'm glad everybody's back. Stuff like that. Rachel, you said, I'm curious how much heat comes off Jupiter alone. Well, the funny thing about it is, I mean, there's enough heat to contract and, expand the moons around it. So, well, that's gravitational pull as well. But between the heat, heating it up and everything else, um, it's pretty interesting when you think about both. Because basically, to me, it's like an energy because you got gravitational and you got the heating of these, well, the heat reflecting off the planets onto their moon. So it's pretty cool. Yep, Libby, 5 p.m. Eastern. Yep. But I will leave a link in there so you guys will know for sure. It'll probably be like middle of the week. I'll let you guys know for sure so you'll know. And you won't be like, oh man, what's going on? Or I'll do it like in the beginning of the week. 420 says, gotta go have some drinks with the wifey. I hope everyone has a fantastic week. See you all in the next live feed. Great job. Once again, thank you, 420 Alien. Have a couple for me too. Just don't get too blitz. We want to know what's going on. You want to be safe. But have yourself a good one, man. I'm not familiar with that one, MC Game. He said, "Hey, Chris, what do you think about, or think of rather, the new planet?" Okay, yeah. Well, that's what I was just reading. They're talking about the NASA internship he was working. I guess he was doing, and he discovered it. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah, John, you get that right. Thank God it's Friday. Liam Stewart Brown. Hi, Chris. Enjoyed the last video. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy things in that one. That's what I love about you never know what you're gonna find. And like I said, this I'm gonna call this in the second part because when I started doing this, it was awesome. I'm looking at this back of this mountain. I'm going, what the hell is that sitting on the mountain? And clearly, this is not a rock at all. And when you see it, like I said, I'll show you the enhanced version in there too. It just, yeah, I don't even know what to make of it. It's clearly it's not natural, right? Max K, what's going on? Didn't know you were in there. He said Friday's good, Chris. Rachel, you said, I wish I could have a girls' night, but my friends are busy and I'm always busy. Well, that's the problem. I mean, in today's life, it's like if you're working, you're doing your thing and, you're just so busy, it's hard to know what's going on. It's kind of like, hey, did you have a chance to watch that program on TV? It's like, TV, what's that? I don't even have a chance to do that. I watch very little TV. Every now and then I might put, and I mean every now and then, I'm talking about scattered in few in between that I'll watch maybe a video or like a movie or something like that, and that's about it, right? Let me see here. I think they jumped out on me here. This thing just jumped on me, but I wanted to say, see if I can find this again. This is pretty cool. Oh, Barry Taylor says, "Hey Chris, I'm watching with my son. He's 4 years old. His name is Ace Taylor. Could you say hi to him? Hello, Ace. How are you? I'm glad you're watching. Appreciate you being here. I think that's him in the picture you got there, right? Yeah, on your avatar. But hello, Ace. Good to see you in there. MC Gamey said, "Don't care when you do the hangout, Chris. I'm always be there, man. Love this community. Yeah, it is a great community. I mean, and I'm not just blowing smoke. I mean, it's awesome because, like I said, I've been on other channels. They got some really good, people on there and stuff like that. But it's like, it's kind of like everybody like sitting in a room, like you're at a restaurant. Just everybody's just talking there, right? Everybody's just saying hellos and how are yous and hope everything's fine with everybody and so on and so forth. And that's what it's not just, oh, could you tell us about this picture? Oh, what do you think of this? It's just like everybody's interactive too. It's just like on a personal basis, which is really neat. And I like that a lot. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Rachel, right? Yeah, it's just you get really busy and you don't realize it. And it's like before you know it, I don't know about you, but it's kind of like you're working like one of the guys that I work with, he's on vacation this week, so I'll be doing a lot of the work. And but you come out, you do your thing at the end of the day after work, and then before you know it, man, it's already Friday. You got to be kidding me. And before you know it, the weeks go by, the months go by, and it's like, man, you just don't realize it just how fast it goes. But you keep busy. You do your thing. You got to make them greenbacks. It's what makes the world go round. Unfortunately, kind of wish you could just like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to chill. Doesn't work that way. All right, guys, I'm going to jump on out of here. It is later than I wanted to be on here, but I enjoy being here with you guys, so it doesn't bother me in the least bit to be here. So, like I said, I will let you guys know probably in the first video. So it'll probably be this Monday or Tuesday tops, and I'll let you guys know what we're doing, and we'll probably move it if we have to like I said, Friday 5 p.m. Eastern time. So again, great hangout. You guys are awesome. I love having you guys here. I love spending the time with you guys. Rachel, I'm glad you're doing well. Everybody was like, "Where the hell's Rachel? We haven't seen her." So we're glad that you're doing well, and good to see you back. And CEO, sorry about that. First time on the live stream. I love the videos. I appreciate you. And like I said, you know, we'll try to work it around everybody, so this way everybody gets to still hang out and do their thing, and then we'll just move it back to the regular time. But I'm going to definitely let you guys know. I'm not going to leave you hanging. You know that. Anyway, guys, another awesome one. You guys are great. Have yourself all a great weekend. Some of you guys are on Sunday, but that's okay. It's still a weekend. You guys have a great one. And we'll see you guys soon, right? Take care, everyone. Peace.